Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, this is 1989's Darkroom, and this is the reversible cover here, Darkroom, where old passions develop. This is the back of the Blu-ray and DVD. There's a couple shots right here from the film, and this is put out by Vinegar Syndrome. This is a film that is produced by Nico Masterakis, who also, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, he's also known for Island of Death, of course, but he also did In the Cold of the Night, which I've also looked at on this YouTube page. He's also produced a movie called Grandmother's House, or Grandma's House as well, and he's producing this film also, and this is Darkroom. Never heard of this film before in my entire life. I don't remember ever seeing it at video stores, nothing of the sort. It's put out kind of it looks like the company or also the studio in Hollywood, California was Omega Pictures. And I'll see Omega Pictures a lot show up on the screen for the films Nico produces. So it's very, very interesting. And it seems to be also where they're filming, a place in North Hollywood, I believe. So let's get into this very, very awesome, unknown, diamond in the rough, Darkroom, right here. Now, you know, the interesting thing about Darkroom is, number one, never heard of it before. Number two, it deals with a kind of a topic or a piece or a basis for a storyline that it seems like a lot of movies, a lot of horror movies, dark films, giallos love to deal with, which is photography and kind of the play of photography in the world of psychosis or psychosexuality. But the way Darkroom does it is very, very unique. And what's interesting about this film, definitely, is that we do have elements, possibly of giallo. We definitely have horror elements, we have gore, we have violence, but it's a movie that is playing very much in real time. It reminded me a lot of another movie called Sudden Fury, which I've looked at on this YouTube page as well. And also another film which I've looked at on this YouTube page, They Call Me Macho Woman. And you can find them both on this page. Playing in real time, real tension, real suspense, real characters, real relationships, twists and turns, and darkness and mystery, and, you know, kind of trying to figure out what is going on. And since we're playing within real time, so to speak, in this film, we have real peril, real characters and relationships in peril. Darkroom is very tense. It's very dark. It has elements of the psychotic, the mind. It's disturbing in the storyline, in the twists of the storyline. It's also psychosexual, and it also plays with childhood memories and perceptions and things that get distorted and twisted within our own minds. It also plays with themes of the family and love and commitment and lust and kind of deformed relationships as well. So healthy relationships versus kind of deformed relationships. And it's an interesting film in that we are in the world of the killer, but we are also in the worlds of the characters that are healthy. So we're playing in both worlds in here. Darkroom has a score that is almost constant in the film, using electronic orchestration of many different moods, dramatic, horrific, and also exotic, almost at times sounding Asian of sorts. And the score is moving and ebbing and flowing throughout the whole film, bringing up the levels of intensity and the weird, the bizarre, the dark, the atmospheric, and the dramatic. Definitely the dramatic as well. There's elements in the score of this that at times could almost feel like it's part of a television film as well. Dark Room is never leaving. It's never leaving the tone. It's never leaving the world. It's never leaving the atmosphere because it's playing in real time. So you never have a moment kind of reprieve. And the violence is sudden. It's disturbing. It sucker punches you at times. And we're out in the middle of nowhere. We're in a remote home. So, no contact. And really kind of family structure. And family structure that has a past, that has a history. And there's something also very weird about some of the acting in the film, in terms of it almost having a vibe that it was like a foreign film, or that there was foreign maybe directing of sorts with American actors and actresses, almost reminding me of the vibes of the wonderful, amazing film Blood Beat, also in that regards. But it has that element in that world. You really don't know what's going to happen next. You think you do, but you really don't. And things start to happen, and things start to get really, really crazy. The opening title sequence for this film is definitely the best use of photography and a darkroom that I've seen. It was really, really well done with utilizing how to mesh the world of darkroom and credits, and how do you bring those two together? Very artfully done. And this is a film that has a lot of style. It has a lot of art. And it's also has a level of brutality to it, and it's disturbing. It also has suspense and tension and mystery. So it has all of that. And I found myself very, very interested in just the situation, the characters, the two sisters, the cousins, the boyfriend, the daughter that hasn't been home for a while, the other daughter that, is constantly getting herself mixed up with, bad guys. I found this all really, really interesting. The remote area, the fact that a lot of the movie takes place during the daytime. There were elements of the film that reminded me of more early 80s slasher films as well, in terms of the disturbing nature of the film. In some regards, it almost reminded me a bit of the early 80s band at the time, video nasty film Nightmare. And there is a level that you do see in a lot of the early 80s slasher films, disturbing slasher films, where our childhood leads us into our adult years. Darkroom also hosts the lead girl in the film. I don't really know her name, the brunette, very attractive. And we also have her sister, which I also found really kind of sexually attractive, a little thicker. She reminded me of Ginger Lynn a bit. As a matter of fact, when I first saw her, I was like, is that Ginger Lynn? And we definitely have a level of sexuality in this film with just a little bit of nudity, but definitely a strong level of sexuality, though, even beyond just a little bit of nudity. The level of fantasy and the mind and the power of the mind and the defects of the mind. It's all at play in this film. The lens that we're watching the movie on, the TV, the screen we're watching this movie on, and photography and art, and desire. This is 1989's Darkroom, right here, folks. There's a knife in the couple with some blood coming out and some fire up there. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like 1989's Darkroom. Please feel free to check out my own personally made films at vimeo.com/poopy diarrhea. That's POOPY diarrhea. Thank you so much, and good night.